welcome back to another Remembering Forgotten Memories episode, and honestly, I am shooketh that I have not told this one already. I went back through all of them, and I'm like, wait, I didn't? No shit? I even, manually searched across the whole channel just to be extra sure that it wasn't, a vlog or something, maybe, because I was like, I could swear I have talked about this here before, but no, not that I can find, so unless it's, buried deep inside of another video that I went off on a tangent about, I guess I haven't. It's just one of those things that I feel like I must have, because I have told the story so many times just in my life in general, that it's like, I've told it to everyone else I frickin' know. I don't know how I never told it here in 17 years of running this channel, but here we freaking are, so piano lessons, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I thought I told this around the same time as the horse camp story, but I guess not. But anywho, first I must backpedal to give the full scope of this. So if we go all the way back to when I was teeny tiny, single digits, itty bitty, knee high to a grasshopper, not much has changed, both in terms of my height as well as just in general with this. Basically, if you could play piano, in my book, you're basically God, and you can do no wrong. Some of my exes have exploited this to great extents, and honestly, I'm not even mad about it. Because, like I said, just not much has changed there. It's still one of those things where, oh, you can do the thing. I don't care how mad I was about whatever the hell it was. Oh, you can do the thing. Oh, that just calmed me down immediately. But anyway, so it's been a long-standing thing. Just great admiration and love for pianists of all types. Do not take that out of context. I heard it when I said it too. Yeah, I know I have a little bit of a lisp. I did not say another word there. But anyway, regardless, I especially was, really hung up on, Elton John and Little Richard when I was super little, to the point where I wanted to play just like them. I wanted to learn how to do what they did. I basically wanted to be them. So, pretty much from the time I was, 2 or 3, I was begging for piano lessons. Every time I went to my grandma's house, I would, gravitate to the piano. And fun fact, the piano you see in the background of so many of my videos when I film in the spare room, that's that piano. I inherited it. That was my great-grandfather's piano. So anyway, regardless, I would gravitate to it like moth to the flame and want to play on there, whether or not I knew what the hell I was doing, I just wanted to play it. And, I mean, for a teeny tiny little kid, a toddler, I apparently was a lot gentler with the keys than most children are at that age, so it already caught my grandma's attention that there might be something to this. I mean, maybe she's got it in her blood. I mean, it runs on all sides of the family. Virtually everyone in my family is musical in some way or another, but there have been a whole lot of piano players, so it wouldn't be too surprising that I was drawn to that just naturally. Regardless, yeah, this was one of those things where, okay, she tried to show me what she could show me, even though she only learned by ear, so she was pretty limited in what she could show me. My other grandpa would come over there and try to, teach me little things here and there. So, between the two of them, it was, a very early basis to work with, but obviously there was a lot I could do beyond that could still be learned. So I would beg and beg and beg and beg for piano lessons. All I want in life is piano lessons. Every birthday, I want a piano. I ended up with, little electronic keyboards because we didn't have room at home in our old house for a piano, so best we could do was electronic keyboards that, as I got older, they got subsequently bigger, but, till they were full keyboard length size, but regardless, yeah, that. And as I got older, there was more and more piano players that I was obsessed with that I just so desperately wanted to be able to do what they did. I even got to where, like, I could read sheet music for, like, the right hand, because, like, my dad put, like, the little stickers on the keys on one of my keyboards so I could learn where they are. But, like, little kid sheet music books only show the right hand, usually, and this is gonna be important. Regardless, so there was that. My grandma had this thing. Wish like anything I still had it, but I don't. But it was this fold-up thing that you would like place right above the top edges of the keys. It would fit just in that little slot there, and you lined it up with the keys so you'd know where all the keys were. So if you're learning how to play piano and you need to know where certain keys are, it would show you both on the bass and the treble clef where the things are. So for things that she had just in the piano bench of sheet music that were very simplistic with both hands, I could kinda sort of figure it out from there just on my own, even before I took lessons. But I didn't really know what I was doing with the left hand. It was mostly the right hand that, like, came like duck to water to me. Well, because of that, and because I could also play by ear, but because I could also play by watching what other people do and copying it, it's gonna be very important very soon. My dad thought I must be just like some weird child prodigy. Shocker, I wasn't, but he thought I was. But regardless, yeah, he eventually got me into lessons around age 10. It's very unfortunate it took until age 10 to get them, because age 10 was about the age where I suddenly, like, somebody flipped a light switch. Forget piano, I want to learn guitar now. Really, you waited for the day that I wanted to learn guitar instead, and that's when you decide to get... Cool. And that's when you decide to get me the piano lessons? Cool, I love that for me. Like, what the hell were you guys thinking? Like, I don't even know if it was, like, a matter of trying to find cheap lessons. I don't know if they just didn't know any, but I don't know. But regardless, by the time they got me into them, unfortunately, at that moment in time, I kind of couldn't have cared less because now I had moved on and wanted to learn guitar. Had this been even a year earlier, maybe it would have gone entirely differently, but... So, my piano teacher was a 16-year-old girl who my grandparents knew her parents because they're, like, contractors in the area. They build houses, this, that, and the other. They're pretty well known. And now, she was an actual child prodigy to the point where she has performed in Washington, D.C. at the White House. Like, no joke, she is, like, that good and, like, had performed as a child. Like, I don't want to, like, dox her info by giving her name, but, like, she's honestly kind of well known. But regardless, yeah, that was my piano teacher. My dad, in his narcissistic glory of trying to make everything sound way more important than it actually is, talked up my abilities way too much to her before I even got a single word in. Tried to make it sound like I was this child prodigy. Yeah, you don't need to waste time on the basics with her. She already knows them. Just jump right in at the deep end. Show her how to play stuff. I really wish he hadn't done that. There's so many things in hindsight where just... if I had it to do over again, there is so many things I would have done differently. One, I would have, taken them when I was, like, all gung-ho on wanting to learn piano. Wouldn't have mattered if we had done it earlier, or if we had waited about 5 more years when I came full circle back to wanting to learn piano again. Which, after blowing it the first time, my parents were like, yeah, no, we already did this once and you blew it, so if you want them, you pay for them. And then I just got cheap and never did it, but regardless, the timing would have had to have been right. I would have let me speak for me and tell her what I do and don't know for where to place me in terms of where to start me. Because he made it sound like I could already read all of the sheet music. And that was only 50% true. I could read the right hand. I never really properly learned the left hand. To this day, I still can't really read the left hand. And it's shameful. It's freaking shameful. But because of this, and because she was this big, cool teenager and I was all of 10, and at that tender age, yeah, it's only 6 years difference, but it feels like a big 6 years, and you don't want to be the lame little kid in the eyes of the cool teenager, no. So, like, I kind of just went along with what he was saying and was like, okay, well, fake it till you make it, basically. I went along with it like, oh yeah, totally know all the basics. I've been playing since I was born. I just need lessons to refine it. Why, Self? Why are you like this? I don't know, but social anxiety, that's why I'm like this, but regardless, so she figured, okay, cool, she already knows how to read sheet music, we don't have to waste time on that, so the next time I saw her, she already had several music books ready for me, ready to go, that included both hands. And, oh boy, trying to not shit bricks at the fact that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So this ended up being a thing where the fact that I have a somewhat photographic memory, it used to be sharper when I was little, it's dulled down with age, but it's still pretty good, but it was, like, pretty freaking spot on as a kid. This became the ultimate game of Simon. Oh my god. So, rather than, just admit I don't know how to read the left hand and have her teach me how to read the left hand, which probably would have taken her all of, 5 minutes, if even? No, I do this shit the hard way. I ask her, can you play it through once for me first, and then I'll try? And I just locked and loaded on her hands and what she was doing, and memorized what she was doing from watching her do it. Sometimes I would have to ask her to play a certain part again, but generally I could get it from watching her do it once and then be able to copy it back. It started out easy enough, but obviously this got real complicated real freaking quick. But I was too stubborn and too far in at that point to feel like I could own up. And obviously the longer this went on, the more and more in over my head I got with this. Oh my god, like, I cannot believe that I made it 2.5 years without being found out. Again, I should have just said something. In hindsight, I so wish I had just said something. But no, my stubborn ass did not want to seem lame in front of the big cool teenager. So that was hang-up number 1. I had already made life way more difficult on myself than it needed to be by that move right there. 2. She wanted to know what kind of music I wanted to learn how to play. Again, in not wanting to seem like the lame ass in front of the big, cool teenager, I kind of just froze and didn't know how to answer that. Especially when she tried to rephrase it as, okay, what kind of music do you like? Because in the 90s, it was not cool to be a kid who was into the Beatles. It didn't stop me at all. But I was very selective about who I let in on my secret, because I had already been ridiculed at school for it. So from that reaction, I was very, very guarded. And there was a lot of people that I just never spoke up for years about it. And in hindsight, I'm like, that's so dumb. Why didn't you just tell them? Famous example of this. The people across the street from my grandparents, had I have spoken up a tiny bit sooner, literally 1 year sooner, he had been going through his daughter's old stuff that she left behind in his house from years and years earlier, and he literally threw out so much Beatles stuff, including a Butcher cover. I could throw up, I could be sick. He told me when he found out I was a huge fan, he was like, I had known that, I would have given it all to you. It's like, you tell me that now, but then again, no, that's on me, because I was too chicken shit to just admit it at the time, but regardless, so, yeah, back to piano lessons. I was too chicken shit to just tell her I want to learn, like, the entire Beatles catalog. That is, like, what I'm here for right now. So she kept trying to, like, hedge her bets on this of, okay, well, she's, like, 10 years old. Do you like Disney? And I, again, was, like, very guarded and, how do I answer this? Do I risk sounding like a lame ass to the teenager for admitting that? Or is she maybe also a fan? And at first I was guarded about it until she admitted how much of a Disney fan she was, which in my brain then made it okay. And, oh, if you, like, actually, I love all things Disney. Oh my god, yes, I want to learn all of the Disney things. So, okay, that gave her something to work with. She started bringing all, like, these soundtracks to different Disney movies. Like, Pocahontas was one that, oh boy, I spent way too long on learning the soundtrack of that movie, but regardless, that and Beauty and the Beast, both. Like, oh my gosh. Wish I could have learned Lion King, but I don't think... Wait. Now I'm second-guessing myself. I'm like, did I? I might have. Because I feel like I remember the music book now that I'm thinking about it. Actually, maybe I did learn the Lion King. I don't know. There was, like, a bunch of them, though, regardless. But, so, anyway, gave her a starting point. So these would be, like, the basis ones of stuff she thought I wanted to learn, but then she would also throw in, like, ones that aren't necessarily, like, known of songs. They're just, like, learner songs to teach techniques and shit like that. There was, like, a whole company that made these, but I'm blanking on the name of it right now. But apparently they're well known, too, but there was always one of those. And then there was one with, like, famous songs of just whatever that she would throw into, and she would pick things from all 3 books for every week. Okay, so, obviously I gravitated to the Disney stuff the most, but, in the famous songs ones, we eventually hit a book that has She Loves You in it, and then I had the moral dilemma of both trying to learn it, but at the same time, not let on how excited I am to be learning a Beatles song freaking finally after like a year and a half in here. Oh my god, I finally get to learn one. Oh my goodness. So, we get to that one. And when I asked her to play it through for me, I slipped up and I tipped my hand and was like, can I hear it one more time? I just really like that song. And I was like, immediately inwardly like, shit, what are you doing? Don't let on. What are you doing? She's gonna think you're so lame. And then the light bulb went on. And she's like, oh, are you a Beatles fan? And it was just like the deer in the headlights moment of, I don't know, how do I answer? How do I answer? How do I answer? And I just got really shy about it. And before I could even answer, I could tell I was blushing. She's like, I have all of their albums. Actually, I got a ticket like a week ago around the corner from your house because I was speeding while singing along to their music. I was like, wait, you're a fan too? Like, for realsies? Like, actually? Oh my god. Then the approach completely changed. It's like, okay, I can finally say what I wanted to say the whole time. I'm actually a huge fan. I really just want to learn their music. She's like, why didn't you tell me sooner? I could have been getting you Beatle books all this time. And I was like, oh my god, I really wish I had. I really wish I had. It's just one of those things where just social anxiety. I didn't even know what that was yet, but I most definitely had it. Like, so badly. But, it was great, once that light bulb went on. But on the other hand, now the pressure was even more on me. because I know those songs note for note, and I could tell if I have it off. Don't mind me, I'm shifting around a little, but I could tell if I had it off by even like a fraction of a hair, and was like, oh, I could try to figure it out by ear, but it's gonna bother me so much if I try to wing it and it's not what it's saying there. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? The moral dilemma. And it did get more and more complicated all the time until it eventually reached a breaking point. And the song that broke me wasn't even a Beatles song. Nope. The song that fucking broke me, that is stupidly simple as it is. I couldn't memorize what she was doing with her hands on this one. For the life of me. And it's so dumb. I knocked these down again. But, like, it's freaking La Bamba. It's not a hard song. It is not a complicated song. But to this day, I kind of feel like it's mocking me every time I hear it. Because that is the song where it's like, I have to tap out. I can't do it. I can't just do it by memorizing what she's doing with her hands. I either have to own up that I don't actually know what the fuck I'm doing, or I have to just quit. There is no in between. And I felt like, at that point, I'm 2.5 years in. I literally cannot own up now to the fact that, hey, so like all that time and money we've been spending together, like learning all of this music, I have been lying this whole time. I don't know how to read it at all. At all. I'm just memorizing what you're doing with your hands. Like, how do you own up to that when you're that deeply into it? That's way too far gone. Like, had it been, like, the first few months, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I feel like with my social anxiety, I would have probably even felt like too much, but a few months in would have been a lot more acceptable than 2.5 years into suddenly spring, hey, by the way, funny story, but you're gonna laugh, like, really though, I actually don't know what I'm doing at all. So, is it too late to, like, backpedal through, like, everything we've done and, teach me how to do that? Again, I don't know why the fuck I couldn't just swallow my pride on this one and just tell her. But I thought for sure, if I owned up that I had been a sham this whole time, I would be in so much trouble. As if, you know, my piano teacher is going to somehow punish me. Yeah, because, like, my piano teacher is in charge of, like, grounding me or something. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but I thought I was going to be in trouble in some way, shape, or form if I told her. So I didn't tell her. What did my bitch ass do? I took my music books and I stuffed them behind and, like, under, like, one of the sofas in our house and, like, barricaded it with a bunch of other shit and just acted like I lost my books. I guess I can't go to my lessons. Oh, darn. Oh, darn. Lost my books. Tell her not to come. Just, sorry. My bad. I'll try and find them. And this got strung along for like a month before she's like, you know, I could just buy her new books. Like, it's fine, really. Like, if they're that lost, like, I can totally buy her replacements. And I was like, no, that's okay. That's okay. Actually, I think we should just, like, stop here, baby. I think I'm about topped out with what I can learn, which was not at all that complex to where it's like, there is still a lot more I could have learned from her, and it is a fucking shame that I tapped out when I did and didn't just tell her so I could learn properly, because, again, for the level she could play at, there is so much I could have learned from her. That is entirely on me that I fucked this up, but, like, just, at that young an age, and being that far in over my head, and for that long, it was just like, I can't own up to that. I can't tell anyone. I can't tell my parents. I can't tell her. I can't tell anyone. Because, like, they will clearly never forgive me if I tell them. In hindsight, I feel like if I had just told her, on one hand, she would have been like, why didn't you just tell me? But on the other hand, she probably would have been really impressed that I had managed to do that by memory this whole fucking time. Like, maybe she would have taken a different approach to how to teach me. I don't know, but, like, I don't know. But, like, years and years after the fact, I did eventually own up and tell my dad what happened. He's like, are you fucking serious right now? I was like, yeah. Are you mad? He's like, no. I feel like you're more mad at yourself than anything, though. But, like, you fucked yourself out of those lessons. Like, if anyone should be mad at anyone, it should be you at you. It's like, well, yeah, I kinda am, because I'd definitely really love a do-over if it were possible, but little late now. She has moved on. She no longer gives piano lessons. She has her own life and doesn't even... That's the really sad part of it. I found her online and she doesn't even do music anymore. What a fucking waste, right? I guess if, like, somebody burnt out or something, I don't know, but regardless, like, damn, I would have gone back to her as an adult and told her at that point and been like, can we get a do-over, like, from square one properly this time? I don't want to start over with somebody new. It's scary, but, like, it's like the therapy thing where it's like, I don't want to start over with somebody new. I just want to keep going to go I always went to. But, yeah, it is a shame, and I realize there is nothing stopping me from taking lessons from someone else other than, you know, the money factor, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I have so many regrets. Because it was not very many years later that I came back to wholeheartedly, just desperately, more than anything, want to learn piano again. So it's like, fuck. I know damn well there's lots of things on YouTube you can learn for free, and I have gone through some of those videos. Did I go through any of the videos for learning how to read the sheet music for the left hand? No! But did I watch a crap ton of those synesthesia videos where it's like the graph on the thing that is basically doing in like a chart form of exactly how I learned it before? Oh yeah, I try to learn off of those all the damn time, but anyway. I'm like, maybe I was just ahead of my time in my approach. I don't know, but regardless, it's like, oh, there's so many regrets. So many regrets. And after how that went down, my parents were like, yeah, we're never getting you lessons in anything again. You're on your fucking own. And I was like, oh, man. That sucks. But anyway, I don't blame them. After that travesty, I cannot blame them, but it is a shame. It is a shame. But I do remember, like, at one point, just as an aside, after I found out that she was a fellow Beatles fan, literally the next week that I showed up, my notebook that I brought with me for, like, my notes of, like, my homework and any random notes of things I learned from her, I had, like, printed out a bunch of pictures of Paul McCartney and, like, glued them all over the cover of it, like, designed with, like, glitter glue around the edges to make it all cutesy and shit, and just... yeah, I was like, well, now that she knows, now I can go all out. Now I can be me. It was so over-the-top ridiculous, but to this day, anytime I run across the handful of photos that I used for that, I still think of that notebook every time I see them, and it is all I can associate those photos with, is my, my ill-fated piano notebook. Anyway... that's it. Hopefully you got a laugh out of it. I would ask, like, if anyone can relate to this, but I feel like this one's so oddly specific. This one is totally just a me thing. It's, like, I don't think anybody else went through quite this one, did they? No, I think this one was literally just me. Which is fair, I guess, but... perfect example of me making my life way more difficult than it needs to be, yet again. But anyway, well, that is it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below, make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more, it's all down below, and if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link as always is down in the description. Anyway guys, till next time, see ya.